Hello everyone, welcome indeed. This is SynthJohn, and today I'm going to be talking about favourite gigs I've been to. Favourite concerts, favourite live performances, favourite music shows, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to talk about some of my favourites. And I'm going to talk about, firstly, recent ones. So the first band we're going to look at is Sparks. Now, I seen these about 3 weeks ago in Bristol O2 Academy, and just fucking fantastic. The sound was fantastic. Just the acoustics in there, just absolutely brilliant. Loud, but very clear, very powerful sound in it. And fantastic. He's still, Russell Mayo. He's still got his voice. Incredible. And he's done a lot of songs off this new album. Whoops. Oh, well done. Fucking wrong way round. Done a lot of songs from this album. Hippopotamus. Yep, Hippopotamus. And this is a fantastic album. Absolutely fantastic. Favourite song on it is probably I Wish You Were Fun. Really good. Absolutely fantastic. And also got a signed CD by the band, which I will not be putting on eBay like some of you cunts. And ticket. My lovely ticket. Yeah, I keep tickets of gigs I've been to. So yeah, they've done a lot of songs from the new album, and they've done, obviously, the classic "This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us," number one song in heaven, propaganda. So they had a mixture of classic songs with the new songs, and and it was very interesting to see Ron Mayo, the keyboard player, get up and dance for one song, because normally he's like this. But when we got to number one song in heaven, he got up, he went dancing away. It was it's fucking brilliant. It was just absolutely fantastic. Sparks, one of the greatest bands of all time. Those guys are pretty much ahead of their time. It could be argued that they were the first new wave band. Completely, without a doubt. You listen to stuff like, the albums "Kimono My House." It just sounds like 80s new wave. And it's from 1974. That album, just a fantastic album. And of course, Propaganda, and Discriminate, and number one song in heaven, and just completely ahead of their time. They were one of the original synth duos, for sure. Along with the band Suicide, pretty much the first synth duo. Because after that, after the Sparks, you had Yazoo, Avasia, Rhythmics. You had all the Pet Shop Boys. You had all those type of bands breaking through thanks to the Sparks, and I can't fault them. Absolutely brilliant. They were live, brilliant. I'd love to see them again, but they don't tend to tour that much now, because I think the last time they went to Bristol was probably about 10 years ago, I think. So unfortunately they are slowing down a bit. I mean, Ron's 70. he's about 72, and Russell's about 60. I think he's 69 now. I think he's had a birthday just recently, but you know, if I never get a chance to see him again, I'm just absolutely ecstatic that I've seen him. You know, absolutely. And the next artist we're going to look at is Gary Numan. Gary Numan. Also, I seen him in Bristol. Yeah, Bristol. They seem to get, you know, their bands. Fuck, poor old Newport. You know, we're lucky to get the fucking Pink Floyd tribute band, but Coastal or Bristol with Mr. Numan. Oh, fucking fantastic again. You know, the sound, incredible, absolutely incredible, and he doesn't stand around like he used to back in 79, 1980. He rocks. He fucking rocks, I tell you. And I've seen him 3 times now. I've seen him in 2009 when he was touring 30 Years of the Pleasure Principle in the Millennium Hall in Cardiff. That was fantastic. You know, Pleasure Principle, just a great album. Just an absolutely fantastic album. And Gary Numan pretty much got me through my teenage years because I was such an awkward fucker. You know, just socially awkward and just not sure what I was or what I wanted to be, and you know, and the lyrics, you know, lyrics to films, you know, about alienation and being alien from people. I could relate to that. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I did have friends in school, but I never felt completely comfortable around them. You know, I never felt part of any group or gang, or just most of the time on my own. You know, in the learning centre on the computers, just making PowerPoint presentations of my favourite artists. That's all I used to do. I pretty much wasted my high school years doing that. You know, and Gary Numan just completely, you know, I could completely relate to him. You know, with the lyrics, the alienation, and not being comfortable around people, and rather be with machines, or, well, in my case, animals, because I like animals, you know. But just fantastic live. When did I see him the second time? I think I seen him 2012. I seen him in 2009, 2012, and obviously a couple of weeks ago. And this time round, the third time round, absolutely the best time by far. Just absolutely fantastic. I mean, the album is this album's fantastic. It's a fucking great album. You see, I never thought he'd top Splinter, but he did. In my estimation, he completely topped it. And he done about 4 or 5 songs from the album, maybe 6. Ghost Nation. My Name is Ruin. Trying to remember, but Ghost Nation, My Name is Ruin live. They sound absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see that Gary Numan is getting more recognition for what he's done. You know, because for years he was ridiculed by the press. You know, completely ridiculed. It's like, oh, anyone can use a synthesizer. A monkey can use a synthesizer. I don't think so. I do not think so at all, critics. I don't think so. You know, completely. I mean, music would sound a lot different if it wasn't for Gary Numan. You know, a complete pioneer. Not the first. He's not the first to use synthesizers, but he was one of the first ones to, to sort of break through. And he said himself, perhaps it was timing for Gary. Perhaps it was the right time for Gary Numan in 1979. If Gary Numan came around in 1975, maybe he wouldn't have been. Maybe he wouldn't have broke through. Who knows? Because there were a lot of bands back in the mid 70s. You had Human League. The early Human League, like Throbbing Gristle, and you had Eno fiddling about with ambient music, and of course, John Fox's Ultravox, but they didn't. They I don't know. They just didn't seem to break through, and then Newman comes along and just completely changed the landscape for the 80s, and in the 80s everyone was using synthesizers in the 80s, that was the synth decade, wasn't it? Even fucking Van Halen were using synthesizers by 84, so I'm glad he's getting the respect he deserves, because this album here got to the top 10 in the UK. His first since probably since I Assassin. It got to number 2, and that's higher than 81's Dance album. Just I'm just fucking happy for him, I'm just glad he's finally getting the accolades he deserves, because he deserves it. No doubt about it, he deserves it. So yeah, I reckon if you haven't heard this album, Savage, if you haven't heard it, I recommend it. I really would recommend it, because it's a fantastic album. It really is. Absolutely fantastic. And hopefully, make many more albums to come. But I notice now he takes longer to make albums now. I don't know why. Because back in the 80s he was pumping them out every year. But I shall wait patiently for the next album. But yeah, it's Savage. It's basically a concept album. Basically, what would happen if Donald Trump and Mr. Kim Jong Uppy Up, or whatever his fucking stupid name is, went to war, and of course global warming is about all that. What would happen? A bit of a apocalyptic dystopia, which is what it's about. And what I like about this album is it's more synth heavy than the last album. The last album was more rockier. This one's more synth heavy, and it has a very nice Middle Eastern feel to it. It's very, it's got that vibe which I like. So I recommend that. And if you get a chance to see Gary Numan live, please do. Just fucking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, we mentioned Sparks, Gary Numan, and I think we'll get on to another synth pioneer, which I seen last year, also in the Colston Hall. Yeah, Bristol again, good old Bristol, and it's John Carpenter. And he was fantastic live as well. Just absolutely incredible sound. His son is pretty talented as well. Cody Carpenter's pretty talented as well, and I'd like to see him, make an album himself, because just fantastic. It was a big slideshow of every film he was doing. So if he was doing They Live, it would be a big slideshow of Roddy Piper, and just fantastic, just absolutely fantastic. And apparently, it was his first tour last year ever. His first tour, so very privileged to have seen him. And of course, I've got the T-shirt, Mr. Carpenter. So yeah, you know, what can you say about John Carpenter? You know, one of the very first to use synthesizers in film soundtracks, because he probably couldn't afford. I think that's what he was. He couldn't afford to get a composer, so it was like, oh fuck it, I'll do it myself on this synthesizer, and and absolutely, incredible soundtracks. Assault on Precinct 13, just completely ahead of his time. Absolutely, completely ahead of its time, that soundtrack. Just absolutely fantastic soundtrack. The sounds you can make from a synthesizer are much better than you can make from an orchestra. You listen to the old soundtracks from horror films from the 70s and 80s. The synthesizer can make a much haunting, eerie sound than an orchestra ever could. And that's what's missing. That's what's missing these days with soundtrack. It's all it is. It's industrial hissing, and there's no melody to it. It's just noise. It's just basically just background noise. It's just what's that? That's the soundtrack. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's somebody hissing. It doesn't add to the film. With Escape from New York, the main theme song, it's completely iconic, isn't it? It completely adds to the suspense and atmosphere of the film. But nowadays it's just very lazy, I think. And John Carpenter, just fucking outstanding. His soundtracks are outstanding, his films are outstanding. And if I ever get a chance to see him live again, it'd be great. Because he's done all the classic songs. He's done Halloween, he's done Assault on Precinct 13, he's done In the Mouth of Madness, Prince of Darkness. He didn't do Escape from Little China, though. Well, he done the main theme song, but he didn't do... what was the name of the band? Carpenter, Wallace and Nick Castle. They didn't do that. That would have been interesting if he'd done that song. Cheesy, but it's all good fun, isn't it? So John Carpenter. If you get a chance, see him live. He's really good. Let's have a look. Motorhead. Fucking hell. Fucking brilliant, Motorhead. Good old Motorhead. Good old Motorhead. Yeah, seen Motorhead in 2009. On Friday the 13th. November 2009. And with an absolutely outstanding support. Girls' School and The Damned. Fucking hell, what more could you ask for? Fucking Girls' School and The Damned. And if you haven't heard of Girls' School, they're a female metal band, and they're fantastic. Really good. Because Lemmy was a big supporter of Girls' School back in the late 70s. He really championed them a lot, and I could see why, because they're fucking fantastic. Broke a lot of ground for so many female bands to come after him. Really good. One of the best groups to come from the new wave of British heavy metal, Girls' School for sure. Just absolutely fantastic. They were really good. They were really good. And The Damned. I mean, what can you say? Captain Sensible, just with his beret and his big glasses, grinning like a Cheshire cat. And I'm glad he kept his clothes on. Really am glad he kept his clothes. I wouldn't want to see him. I wouldn't want to see him naked, to be quite frank, because he used to do that back in the day. He used to come on stage naked, wear a nurse's outfit, a tutu, you name it. Damn Sensible would wear it. You know, just really great. And of course, Motorhead's fucking the loudest band I've ever seen, ever. My fucking ears were ringing for 2 weeks. You know, people would be, you know, cars would be stopping, asking me for directions. I'd be like, I can't hear you. What? Oh, it's fantastic. You know, 2 weeks of ringing in my ears. You know, I'd be getting up, me going, ring, and then I'd be going to bed, and I'd be going, oh. You know, it could be hard if it was too loud, but, you know, it's fucking Motorhead, isn't it? You know, we are Motorhead, we play rock and roll. And I was like, I was at the front, so I was like this, I was like, you know, just really, really good, Lemmy. Oh, we lost a great guy there. We lost, you know, I tell you, it's a poorer place without Lemmy, I tell you. Just absolutely one of the greatest rock and roll characters in rock and roll, for sure, Lemmy. You know, you just tell it like it is, you know. Take him, or as Ozzy Osbourne would say, Lemmy, it's with Lemmy, you can either take him or you can fucking leave him, he's a fucking great, you know, he's a great guy, you know. That was Lemmy, you know. Lemmy was an OG, for sure, you know. And you know, I'm just happy. I'm just thankful. You know, I got to see Lemmy. You know, and you know, Bomber when they done Bomber. And Overkill, fucking, and they must have ran for about 12 minutes. Overkill, the drum, Mickey D, just great drummer, great drummer, and Phil Campbell, great guitarist, you know. I'm hoping. Well, he's got his own band now, hasn't he? So, it'd be interesting to see, you know, his band, and hopefully his band will make an album. I'm sure they're in the process of making an album, so that'd be quite interesting. Mickey D, I'm not sure what he's doing at the moment, but you know, I think he'd be very good in any band he joins. He'd be off the charts, he will, you know. So Motorhead, just incredible, you know. And I'm very thankful I got to see Motorhead. You know, I never got to see David Bowie, but I got to see Motorhead, and if it was, you know, just very thankful, and just, you know, it's a shame, you know, but it's a miracle he reached 70, you know, of all that, you know, that drugs he took and Jack Daniels. But so yeah, rest in peace, Lemmy. And as we're talking about Lemmy, he was also in a band called Hawkwind. Yes, Hawkwind. Now I've seen them twice. I've seen them April 2013 in Cardiff Coal Exchange, and I've seen them April last year. So in 2013 they were touring this album, Warrior on the Edge of Time, which is from 1975, which is, well, you know, that's the classic lineup, isn't it? With Lemmy and Nick Turner and Dave Brock and Simon King, you know, the classic lineup where they had the most commercial success. Now, Lemmy wasn't a big fan. He wasn't a big fan of this album. Well, from what I read, maybe his opinions change over it, I don't know. But there's a very good book by what's her name? My apologies if I can't get your name right. Anne Clark, a fantastic book, The Saga of Hawkwind. Now, Lemmy talks about this album, and he said, "This fucking album was a fuck up from this finish. A fucking drum empire. With all those fucking gongs and hammers, it was fucking ridiculous with these two drummers. Trying to fucking upstage me. Yes, for this album, it was two... You had the edition drummer, Alan Powell, where you play gongs and things like that. No, for me, my opinion, I think that extra drums give new dimension to the songs. But Lemmy was like, oh, the fucking drum empire. And... I mean, there was a lot of issues why Lemmy left Hawkwind. That was one of them, and of course, his drug bust in Canada. But, I mean, I love the album. I think it's the best album in Lemmy's lineup. I mean, Then again, I do like Space Ritual. That's a fantastic live album. The live version of Master of the Universe is just full-on fucking space metal. It's just fucking fast as fuck. Just fucking hell. Really, just really good. But Warrior on the Edge of Time, to hear that live, just brilliant, Assault on Battery, Opera Locker, Demented Man, Spiral Galaxy, it's a fantastic album. And look at the artwork. It's fantastic artwork, look. Fantastic. Really, really brilliant, So yeah, I seen him 2013. Also seen him last year touring this album. The Machine Stops. Which is based on a book. It is based on a book. I forget the name of the writer, but it's a concept album based on a book about machines basically taken over, which is, it's pretty, it's pretty accurate, isn't it? Machines taking over the world, everyone's fucking begging their mobile phones, I guess, fucking got their heads in the clouds or their heads up their asses, So, so yeah, Hawkwind, if you ever get a chance to see them, they were, because with Hawkwind, the light shows, the light shows are still good. I mean, back in the day they were good. Their light shows, they were the kid. As far as I'm concerned, they were probably the best band we had in the early 70s. Hawkwind, they were the band that punk rockers were allowed to like. To quote Jarvis Cocker, they were in many ways, Hawkwind were a punk band in a way. Their attitude, and their style. I mean, and they had some, amazing characters in that band. It could be argued they're the real Motley Crue. I mean, you had a guy, a bass player on speed, wearing iron crosses. You had a saxophone player with a frog costume playing out of tune sax. You had a manic depressive poet who would march 40 miles and put himself in prison, put himself in a mental hospital every 6 months. You had fucking, Stacia fucking dancing naked on stage. And somebody asked her once, why did you dance naked? And she was like, well, half the audience were naked anyway. She just thought, fuck it, I'm sweating, so, I want to express myself. And he was like, oh, fair play then. So yeah, Hawkwind, I would love to see a documentary made on Hawkwind, but, with Dave Brock and Nick Turner not getting on, it's just I don't know, it'd be quite difficult at the moment. But it would be nice to see a documentary on them, because they just completely, incredibly influential band. Well, probably one of the most influential bands of all time. Pretty much influenced punk, new wave, dance music, alternative rock, stoner metal, heavy metal. You know, he just completely, you know, inspired everyone. You know, so if we ever get to see Hawkwind, you know, don't hesitate. Or if you don't want to see the that lineup of all, Nick Turner is very good. I'm sure Nick Turner. Yeah, I remember seeing Nick Turner in Brecon 2012, and it was bizarre. It was quite bizarre because you had these four people dancing at the front. The one was taking pictures, and the one was just going. I thought, anything fucking no, just incredibly bizarre. It was really bizarre that was. So yeah, Hawkwind, Iron Maiden I seen this year, and fucking hell. Talk about putting on a show. Oh, you know, all I see, up the irons, just incredible. Still Bruce Dickinson, still got his voice for sure. You know, just incredible. You know, and it was pretty awesome to see a giant Eddie come on and start beating the fuck out of the drummer. That was funny. Yeah, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't beat classic metal. You know, I'm not a big fan of modern metal, to be honest. Some of it's okay, but some of it is shit. It's gotta be said. But you know, you classic 70s, 80s metal, just fucking incredible. It's like Judas Priest, another band I've seen back in 2011. Just fucking incredible, just incredible. Just really good. Really good. Trying to think of other ones. Because I've seen quite a few shows over the years. Bad Manners in TJ's 2008. Then again, 2000, around about 2002 is because I started going. If you obviously don't know what TJ's was a venue in Newport where I live, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. Granted, it stunk. You know, there was no toilet paper in the toilets. You know, flies come out of the toilet. You know, it was dark. It was damp. It was dingy, but it just a lot of famous bands played there. A lot of famous bands played TJ's back in the day. I think even the Ramones played it at one time back in the 90s. And the legend has it Kurt Cobain proposed to Courtney Love in there in TJ. So that's a bit of it. That's whether that's true or not, I don't know. You know, there's so many legends around that, and I think Newport is suffering since TJ's has gone because all the I've seen so many great bands in TJ's, and Bad Manners was one of my favourites to see, because you know it's Bad Manners, isn't it? You know, and Buster Bloodvest has lost a lot of weight, but you know he can still rock out. I tell you, still doing the skanking, and on that gig I probably didn't stop dancing. And when I got to the can, when he started doing the can, oh, my legs were going up in the air, and I think I crashed into somebody and fell down, if I remember correctly. Just a really wild place it was, you know. Just incredible atmosphere. Obviously, like I said, it was a bit dingy and damp and stinky, but I think that was the appeal. You know, that was the appeal of it, and it was, you know, a lot of fun. You know, the Misfits I've seen in there, UK Subs, The Beat, Agent Orange, Adolescence. You know, a lot of hardcore punk bands. You know, just fucking brilliant. You know, absolutely brilliant. But it's like nowadays, I gotta go to Cardiff or Bristol to see a show. It's just, you know, I just wish, I don't know, maybe we could get, but then again, TJ's was, well, you know, it had a lot of, TJ's had a lot of influence. It had a lot of influence in Wales, TJ's, because you look at the 90s, you know, that was the golden age for Wales, the 90s, you know, bands like Gorky, Psychotic Monkey, Super Furry Animals, Catatonia, you know, they all broke through because of TJ's, and the Welshie was fantastic. 60-Foot Dolls from Newport, great band, you know, absolutely fantastic band, you know, really good 90s power pop punk, really is, it's, you know, it's great stuff, you know, and I just wish, you know, that something could rival TJ's and build, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are pockets of bands around in Wales that are really good and deserve a bigger audience and attention, but you know, the 90s, just absolutely thriving it was, you know, absolutely just, you know, it was fantastic, it was. You know, really good. Yeah, probably my favourite venue, TJ's, for sure. You know, for sure. You know, and the Bristol. I mean, the Bristol ones are brilliant. You know, they got the Fleece in Bristol. That reminds me of TJ's. You know, the dark, dingy lighting and the fucking crappy toilets with no locks on the doors. Well, I think there was one toilet that wasn't a lock on the door. That reminds me of TJ's a lot. When I went to see Claudio Simonetti's Goblin, you know, it reminded me of TJ's, and I was at the front and I was like, you know, Goblin, you know, one of the great Italian prog rock bands, just fantastic. You know, done all the same, well, most of the soundtracks to Dario Argento films, and it's fantastic live. Completely blown me away. It did. Absolutely fantastic. It was brilliant stuff. Claudio Simonetti. You know, one of the great synthesizer players for sure. Just, you know, he should be way up there. You know, they don't talk about, when it comes to great synthesizer players, they don't talk about Claudio Simonetti, and they should because he's completely brilliant. I mean, Dawn of the Dead soundtrack, absolutely magnificent it is. Absolute Goblin, just they're up there with John Carpenter, you know, and Tangerine Dream as well. Just those for synth soundtracks, just you know, they are the benchmark for them. So yeah, I think I've waffled on enough. But yeah, there's some of my favourite concerts that I've seen over the years. Bands. Should I talk about bands I would like to see? I would like to see Saxon, the metal band. I wouldn't mind seeing Saxon. The Fall. I wouldn't mind seeing The Fall. That would be quite good. John Fox would mind seeing, and maybe Public Image again. Public Image Limited. That would be really good. So yeah, I think I've fucking waffled on enough. Yeah, waffled on enough. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.